Ezra chapter 10 is such an interesting account. And Ezra really talks about this idea of marrying people and these people who had been married to foreign wives or foreign people. And this is a challenge for us today, right? What does that mean for us as God's people? And they really talk about those guilty of intermarrying. And there's even a list of those names of those families who had done that. And to understand that, first you have to understand this idea, the fear and the struggle in the church of that day was that they were marrying people outside of the covenant promise who were worshipers of other gods, who were doing something else. And the concern was what? That they would be driven away following after these other gods. And this is challenging for us. I fully admit this is one of the more challenging texts in Ezra that we read. And yet you see, right, here's this nation that went into exile and was driven away because what? They had worshiped other gods. They had been connected to other religions, and it had mixed in, it had intermixed in there. And it's not so much the idea of marrying a spouse who maybe isn't a Christian or isn't a person, but this idea of trying to meld those two religions. And what does that often do? It doesn't say, okay, we're gonna be this and you're gonna be that, but it brings this level of untruth into the Christian life. And often it doesn't lead the Christian to bring the non-Christian in, but what does it do? It leads the Christian to walk away from their faith. And so often as we think about that is, how do we keep our Christianity, our faith true? Not mixing it with a whole bunch of other religions, not mixing it with a whole bunch of other things, but that it would be the true gospel proclaimed to us in Christ. And God does call us to be true to what he teaches. And so may we as God's people stay true to what God teaches us. God's blessings.